We're right back at the scene of the crime, everybody, and we're ready to find some more treasures. In the context of my videos, it's the very next day since the last one that I posted, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take for me to edit everything together, because yesterday I filmed about 4 hours alone, and it takes a lot more than 4 hours to go through 4 hours of beach time, because a lot of it's pretty boring where I'm just sitting there digging. So the winds have really changed, and you can see it's not sunny out, but the good news is the winds are pushing from the southwest, which means that the low tide today, which is in about an hour and a half, is going to be even lower because it's pushing the ocean right out towards the sea. So I can see right now that the beach is really spread out, and I think it's going to be even better than yesterday. Just looking at it right now, there's so many more piles to pick, and there's pebbles just scattered all over the beach. So I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to get out there and see what we find. Right away, I'm starting to find these little pieces of tile. Oh, I thought that was a tile, but it's just a really old rock. Right on the surface. Oh, there's a piece of blue right here. Check it out. Here, let's take a look. It's the bottom of a bottle. You can see right over here. It's a really rounded, and there's where it would have kicked up. And then look right there. There's another one. It's a piece of aqua. Here, let's give it a look here. Okay, so it looks like it's a piece of bonfire aqua. You can kind of see it's got these huge creases over here, and it's got a few folds with some inclusions. There's a lot of nice little tinies all over here, so I'm just kind of picking them all up. But as always, I got to remember to look through my eyes and not through the viewfinder so that I don't miss anything here. Because I can see there's a lot of pieces of sea glass all over. Look at that. There's a beautiful piece of green right over here. I can see that one right over here. Let's go give this a peek now and go see this green right over here. Check it out. Nice little green. Well, it's not really that nice, but it's big. And then we got an amber brown. And then we got a marble right here. Check it out, everybody. It's just sitting right here on the ground. And it's a nice little frosty marble. Oh, it's got a big dent in it. That's too bad. You can see right over there, it's got a huge smash in it, but it's right on the surface. And so is this piece right over here. And there's a lot of good stuff happening right now. Oh, look at this right over here. There's another big piece. Check this one out. That's really long and it's large. And that's a really good sign when we're finding big pieces like this. And they're right on the surface as always. And then look right over here. I just threw it down. Check this one out. It's a piece of the willow pattern. You can see how it's really, really faint and the cobalt's bled. So I'd have to put this at an early century find. I haven't even begun to start digging. And here's another perfect aqua seafoam. Nice green right there too. We'll take them all. Hopefully I'm going to start making some more great finds. What kind of a video would it be if I didn't find a spark plug sitting right here, everybody? A little piece of cobalt blue. Nice little greens. Oh, look at this. It's a nice little piece of cornflower blue, everybody. It's got a little pattern on it. Here, I'm going to come share it with you. Here, check this one out right over here, everybody. It's a beautiful tiny little piece of cornflower blue, but if I hold it right, you can probably see it's got these little ridged lines on it. So this is from a really, really tiny and a really, really delicate little poison bottle. Here, I'm probably gonna have to take a picture. Okay, you can see it right over here. So this is from a really, really tiny, a small little poison bottle, and it's in cornflower blue. I don't find too many pieces of poison bottles that are in cornflower blue. So for me, this is a rare find. And you can see it's really, really thin. It's only about 2 millimeters thick, I'd have to say. So this was probably like a really small bottle. I wouldn't say it's more than like 3 inches maximum. Usually I don't find too many tiny pieces of sea glass that are worth writing home about. This one here is definitely a good find. Oh, here we go. Nice little piece of jadeite here. Oh, wait, I just saw something. I think it's a marble, everyone. Where did it go? Hold on, hold on. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just saw a marble and I don't know where it went. Ah, yeah! Here it is, guys. I found it. Okay, check it out. Check this one out right over here. It's such a tiny little marble. It is only, I'd say, about 6 millimeters. It's got like an aqua seafoam tinge to it. It doesn't have a clear tinge to it. This one is one of the smallest marbles. I know I say it a lot, but it's the smallest marble that I found in a really long time. And look at it. It's got a little bit of red to it, and that's it. It's only got one color to it, so it's like it's a one vein marble. Oh my goodness. It's very, very unique. I don't think I've seen a pattern like this one before, but I definitely find marbles that are this small. You know, when I find a marble that's really small like this, and I know that the smallest marbles were only about 12 millimeters, a piece like this is probably reduced down in size about 50% since it went into the ocean. It's an absolute gem, and I can't believe I almost lost it. It's not the best age, but it's a piece of aqua seafoam. More on the blue side. Beautiful little shell. Bullring Kelly green. I see something. Yeah. Oh, look, there's 3 of them. Holy cow. I just found 3 beautiful pieces right over here, but one of them is a little bit better than the other 2. Okay, so I just found 3 pieces. So I found the Kelly green. I found this beautiful piece of clear that's just aged to perfection. And then look at this one right over here. Look at this bean. It's really hard to tell right now, but it is absolutely a piece of dark teal. It's almost like a piece of teal green, and it looks really old to me. Super well aged. It's kind of wild. It's almost the exact same size as the clear piece that I just found. You can see they're practically twins right over here. This one's a little bit bigger, and I'm happy for that as well. Now, when I hold this piece up into the light, even on a dull day, you can just see it's got an absolutely beautiful, stunning color to it. And when you find a color like this, it absolutely precedes the 20th century in automation. So when I find a piece like this, I kind of figure it might be from about like 1880 to 1910. It could be as early as 1860. It's a really old shade of glass, this teal right over here. And it's another one that I usually associate with old mineral water, soda water, and seltzer water bottles. So that piece right here could be from a bottle that's about 150 years old. I can't believe it, because I'm just finding all these little tinies, and then I found that sea marble, and now I just found this one again right away. And I'm really on a roll here, guys. I'm gonna keep digging this pile, but the rocks are getting a lot bigger, so it's harder to move them here. So I have to move a few out of the way. I think you might have actually just seen me doing that right before I found this, but I'm gonna have to wait until I get home, rewatch the video, and know if I'm right. Oh yeah, look at this, guys. I just found a piece of bonfire. I think, whoa, did you hear that cliff just come down? A bunch of rocks just came down. Okay, I just found a piece of bonfire here, and I think it's uranium glass here. I'm gonna show it to you. It's not the most special thing, so we're not gonna spend much time on it. But what I'm thinking is we're gonna go home and we're gonna take a look at this piece under a black light, and we're gonna see if this is a uranium glass find. Oh, this one looks neat. Look at this one right here. Looks like I need to adjust the camera here, everybody, but I just found this piece, and it's a piece of security glass. You can see it's got the little wires in it right over there. It's a common pattern. The most common one for me is the ones where it kind of X's right in the center. And once again, as I've talked about in other videos, you'd probably see this as a security feature on a building like a library or a school or even a bank potentially. And depending on where you live, when the windows were changed out, you can actually find these in an abundance. And I see people find them all over the world in so many different unique patterns. Look at this piece right over here. What is it? Oh, I thought it was, wait a second. Oh, it is a ceramic. Look at it. Here, hold on. I'm out of focus, everybody. Okay, guys, look at it. It is definitely a ceramic. You can see over here, it's got a little bit of exposed surface. So this isn't glass. Oh my goodness. I don't know about this coloring over here. It's just so vibrant. It's not something that I'm used to seeing from a Wade Whimsy. This thing's absolutely wild. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And then I looked over and you can see there's another piece of ceramic right over here. We've got another piece of earthenware. It's really, really large. And you can see it's porous right over here. It's got the holes in it. It's probably not as old as the other ceramic find that I just had. However, it is from the 1800s. There's no doubt in my mind this is an 1800s piece. But let's get back to this one over here. I just cannot believe this. Hopefully I'm going to be able to match this to a statue. I'd almost convinced it's a Wade Whimsy, but I've never seen the painting before, because you can see right over here, it really has that same kind of a color tone that I'm used to seeing from the Wade Whimsies that I found in my life before. I just wanted to share this incredible ceramic find with everybody. Look how porous it is. So this is a beautiful piece of earthenware. You can see it's really different than that last piece of ceramic that I just found. I always tell people one of the biggest signs to know if something's really old is if you see these little air bubbles, this porousness in it. So this means that the ceramic wasn't vitrified at a high enough temperature. It means it wasn't fired at a really high temperature. I was watching Oak Island the other day, and one of the archaeologists actually said something I'd never heard before. He said that if you take a piece of earthenware and you stick it up to your tongue, that it's going to stick to it because it's porous and it hasn't been vitrified at a high enough temperature. I definitely don't recommend people sticking pieces of sea glass and pottery shards to their lips before cleaning it first, and I'd actually never heard of this before, but I really wanted to just share. You can see these little holes in it over here. Look at this one, guys. It's a piece of milk glass. It's the base of an old bottle. Okay, so you can see, you know, it's wild because I usually find a lot of milk glass that's big and chunky like this one. So you can see it's got the little bit of ridging on this side and then the inside wall. So this could have been like something from Pond's, or another company that I find a lot of is a company called Woodbury. And these would have been like cold creams or mentholatums. Very, very common after World War I into World War II and even into the 1960s. Another thing I can tell you about milk glass is tin is added to the composition, and that's what gives it this milky white color over here. It's kind of wild to think that it takes an element like that to create a color like this, but that is how the glass world works. And I guess it took a lot of experimenting to figure that out. You know, I dig a lot of these bottles out of the ground, these cold creams, because they're a lot smaller and they tend to be a lot thicker. The walls were a lot thicker. I guess it was to preserve what was inside, the pharmaceuticals inside. It's a very neat little find. Unfortunately, it's not a bright piece of like red or pink or purple, because that would really get us excited right now. Okay, here we go, guys. We're digging underneath the camera. Definitely not the Holy Grail that we're looking for. I don't know, what really is the Holy Grail out there? Tell me, guys, what is it, the one thing that you wish that you could find the most on the beach? Is it a piece of red? Is it a marble? Is it a nice big chunk of cobalt blue? I'd really love to hear. Nice little green. Like I said, it's really hard to abandon this pile because I just keep finding so much good stuff in it. But I definitely know that there's enough places that I got to pick here. So I got to keep moving. Let's give this a few more little pushes here and there in this pile. And then hopefully I can get back to it later on once the tide starts pushing up. Oh, look at that. It's purple, guys. It's a nice manganese piece. Okay, so now I just found a nice manganese piece. You can see it right over here. Okay, maybe you can see it a little better if I put a rock in front of it. I just don't know why it's so hard to see the color on these manganese pieces, but you can see right over here, this is an old piece of manganese glass. So it was made before 1913. Oh, what's this? It's just a piece of ceramic. It had a little bit of blue on it, but nothing really worth writing home about. Oh, I see something right here. Here. Haha, look at this color right here, guys. Okay, check this color out right over here. I got another nice little find, and I'm going to share it with everybody. I have to see what I'm doing here. Okay, guys, check out this beautiful color that I'm holding in my hand right over here. You can see how small this little piece is, and it's a really, really unique blue. I don't see this blue too often, but when I do see a color like this, I associate it with old lens covers. So this could potentially be from like an old lantern that you would hold. This could even be like a lens cover for maybe a train signal. But typically, when I find a piece like this and it's thin, I don't think it's from a train cover. I think it's probably from a lantern. And this is a really rare color. I'd have to say that I've only found a couple of these in my life. something, guys. It's a little stilt from a ceramic. Okay, you can see right over here, guys, it's a really unique piece of ceramic. And what would happen is when you were firing something in a kiln, you would use these. They kind of look like a tripod. They had three different legs to them, and then there was a little bit of an edging on the top so that you could sit bowls and plates as they were firing at very high temperatures. You could use it to separate, and then the hot air could circulate inside the kiln and fire all of the pieces correctly. Now, it's really neat when you find a piece of old tableware and it actually has the markings from these little tripods on it. You can actually see that in really old ceramics. This one here is a pretty old, I'd have to say. You know, it's from the turn of the century, and it tells us when you find these that people were firing ceramics locally where we live. So I don't remember the last time it was when I found one of these, but it was a couple of months ago. And you should find a lot of these. If you find one of them, there's a good chance you're going to find a lot of them, because when people are firing ceramics, they would use dozens, if not hundreds of these in a kiln at any given time. A little piece of tileware, beautiful shell. Oh, that's not a beautiful shell. Look at this find, everybody. It's just glowing. Check it out. My goodness. Look at this beautiful piece of turquoise right over here. It's absolutely glowing in my hand. I don't think it's uranium glass, because I don't think they made too much turquoise uranium glass, but it's wild. You can see it's an extremely well-aged piece of turquoise. It's got a tiny little air pocket in it right over there, so I know it's older. And then on this side, there seems to be some sort of a damaging, some sort of like a little crease right in the middle, and it was totally protected because all those rocks are hitting it and they just can't get in to smooth it down. Or maybe this piece got aged to perfection and then a rock like this hit it and it took a piece out of it right in the center, and then it hasn't had a chance to age down. You know, it's wild because a piece like this has probably been in the ocean for like 100 years, and then all of a sudden it suffers some sort of a traumatic event and it gets hit, and then I find it. Maybe because I see this little mold marking right over here, this is from like a bottle. I don't think it would be from a torpedo bottle, but this could absolutely be a little mold marking right over here that I see on the bottom. And maybe that's why it's got this crease in the middle, because the bottle was made very poorly 120 to 140 years ago. Let's check up here. Okay, here we go. This piece of green. Keep it rolling. Maybe we're gonna find something. Another huge piece of ceramic tile right over here. And you can see this one's got a little bit of a handle marking. So this probably would have been from like a serving vase, some sort of a serving container right over here because it's so much larger. That's pretty wild. Sometimes these rocks just play tricks on me, but I can see right over here there's something. Look at this, guys. It's a little fragment of a marble. I got to get a camera in focus, but look, I just found this aqua seafoam, and now I just found this marble, and it's having a 75% off sale. You can see it's got a little bit of red to it, a little bit of an air pocket right over there, so it's probably an earlier marble. I absolutely love it. It's a 25% marble. I wonder if I'm ever going to find the rest of it here. Oh, look at this right here. I see a peekaboo piece of sea glass, everybody. Do you see it right over there? Look how dark it is. It almost looks like it's a rock for sure. I know this is glass. I hope this is a really nice color. Let's find out. Oh, it's so hard to tell. Okay, guys, this is like a really, really dark green. You can obviously see that. It's super thick. So this would have been like the bottom of the bottle. And then over here, we can see the inside wall because it has a real differential in size. When you go from over here to there, you can see it almost doubles in size. So this would have been like a really old bottle bottom. I'd have to say it's like about 130, 140 years old. There's no way this is a 20th century find. This is really great. It was just sitting there camouflaged. And then look right over here. I can see this one. Hold on, guys. Check out this one right over here. It's got this weird creasing in it. My goodness, it's hard to get my camera in focus here, but here we go. You can see it's so well aged. It's kind of tough how well aged it is. And then it's got this crease in it right over here. It's It's really unfortunate. I'm thinking this is another pile I might have to mark right over here. And then I can come back and pick it later. There's definitely, look at that. There's definitely some good sea glass in it. Right underneath the surface. This piece is just so well aged. Maybe I should just stop and pick it right now. Oh, it's black glass, guys. I just found some black glass. Haha. This could actually be pirate glass here. Okay, I'm gonna come share this with you. Oh, there's a little piece right here too. Nice little piece of ceramic here as well. But this is the feature piece that I wanted to talk about that I just dropped right over here, everybody. So here is the find that I'm talking about. This piece right over here, you can see the lip and you can see right at the bottom how crude it is and how inconsistent it is. So this is a tapered lip is what you would call this right over here. And it was absolutely made by hand when you can see the markings like that. And another telling mark about this piece is when I flip it over, you can see on the inside here, I'm going to try and catch it here on the camera, but you can see right at the top over here, there's a little bit of edging, kind of like what you would expect to see from milk glass bottles. And this closure right over here means that this top, this bottle, was made to receive a cork. Now that I look at it and I see the color of the green, I definitely know this isn't pirate glass. I was a little bit too early to say that because, I mean, realistically, the age of steam began in 1780 and the age of piracy is said to have ended around 1720. So for something to be actual pirate glass, it has to be really, really early. And for that, I'd expect it to be kind of like a yellowish black or even kind of like a real dark black, sometimes an amber brown. But right over here, you can see that this piece was completely tooled by hand. This bottle was made by hand, especially because of the crudeness on the taper right over here. So a bottle like this, I would absolutely put at about 160 to 140 years old. And it would be really hard for me to take a piece like this when it has the crudeness on the bottom and to date it as being earlier than 140 years. I wouldn't say it's much older than 160 though, just because of the color. If I'd found this piece and it was kind of like a yellowish black and it had this crudeness on it, I would associate this with the 1700s. This is still a really great find, and it tells me that people were discarding bottles out here 160 years ago, right when the coal mines were first opening up. Oh, yeah, guys, it's a piece and it's aqua. It's a kick-up. It's aqua kick-up. I don't remember the last time I've seen one of these. I don't actually think I've ever found an aqua kick-up before. Okay, guys, I'm going to share this find with you right over here. So it's a piece of aqua sea foam, but it's a little bit of a bubble. So this right over here is the kick-up of an old bottle. Now, you might have read, if you've read my book, that these were originally called mamelon or a mamelin as a French word. You would use tools to clean up the bottom of a bottle around 1880. So a piece like this really couldn't be that old, but a piece like this isn't that young either. Usually when I find a kick-up, and usually when people find kick-ups out their way, they're green or black. I don't see too many that are aqua seafoam out my way, although I do know that in places like the Caribbean, you can find them. So a piece like this is really period. I'd have to put it, like I said, about 1880 to 1890. I don't think this is a 20th century find, and I definitely know that it's not much earlier than that. Oh, yeah, guys. Okay, I'm going to introduce everybody to my BFF right now. You're all about to meet my BFF right here, everybody. Here it is. It's my bonfire find. You get it? It's my BFF. Haha. Okay, guys, check out this beautiful piece of bonfire blue. You know, some days it just seems that I'm finding more bonfire glass and more bonfire blue than I am regular pieces of blue. It's kind of wild because you can see it's a little bit glassy on this side right over here, and it's really creased on this side. So it makes me think the fire was really exposed over here, and this would have been on the bottom where it was a little bit cooler, because you can see this side right over here, it just doesn't have the same unique patterning that we can see on this side over here. So this would have been really bubbling, and this would have been really cooking a long time ago before it went into the ocean. We've picked a few piles and we found some really good finds so far, guys. Don't worry, the day's not over. It's about 1 o'clock now and the tide is going to start turning and coming in. So we're going to have to pick a little bit quicker. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the beach and those piles that we passed a few hours ago. And also I'm going to go check the shoreline and see if anything kicked up. Yeah, nothing special. Okay, it's all green. You can see all of this has not been touched yet, so this was underwater before. Oh, that was underwater, guys. Yeah, look at this right over here. Look at the size of this nugget, everybody. I got it into focus over here. It's so thick. It looks like, yeah, it's got a huge air bubble in it. It almost looks like it's like a happy face now that I look at it. It's so well aged. You know, I'd have to say it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. It's about an inch long. It's an absolutely perfect nugget. Well, I can see something over there, guys, but I'm pretty sure it's plastic. I smell glass too. Okay, let's take a look at this right over here. Wait a sec. You know what? I actually don't think this is plastic, guys. Holy cow! Look at the cross section on this piece. There is no doubt this is a piece of glass. This is not plastic. Oh my gosh. Look at the layering. It is a completely intricate. This is something that I have seen before, but I haven't seen this in a long time. You know, it's kind of well aged. I'd say it's about the size of a nickel. But, you know, just to look at the side of the cross sections here and see all these layerings, this must have been something really fancy and ornate back in the day. Well, I shouldn't have turned the camera off, everybody, because this piece was just sitting a few inches away, and it's a perfect piece of pink. Look at this. It's a little triangle. You know, I'd only say it's only about 3/8 to 1/2 inch long, so it's pretty small. And then look right over here. Look at this piece. Look at this. This is glass. Are you kidding me? I just found another crazy piece of glass. Look at this. It's got the same kind of a layering to it, but it's so much thinner than the other one. I cannot believe these 3 pieces of glass. Here, let me get the other one out of the bag. Look at the size difference between these two, but they clearly both have the same layering in them. That's absolutely wild. I've encountered thin glass like this before. That's like a lampshade from something like a Tiffany style lamp. So there's actually a chance that both of the finds are from Tiffany style lamps or something similar and comparative to that. And then at the same time, you can see an amber brown, a nice Kelly green, and then over here, I think that's a piece of melt glass as well, and they're all just within a few inches of one another. Look at this, everybody. A whole bunch of the shoreline came down since we were here yesterday. And you can see it too. It's not just right over here, although this is probably about 500 to 1,000 pounds of rock. Really, really sharp shale as well. But you can see little clumps of it are just falling down. And sometimes, like I said, I've seen out here where the whole shoreline, the whole cliff is just going to give away in a second's notice and come sliding down the beach. So maybe I shouldn't be standing right here. And a lot of the reason of that is because of this ice over here that comes through. All throughout the day now, I've been picking, and I can just hear little crumbles here and there. Check it out, guys. It's a handle from an old cup, and it's a beautiful piece of purple. It's wild because I find handles in so many different colors, and I find them in so many different sizes because my ocean side was used as a dump for so long. This one here is really beautiful. You can kind of see it looks like it's been vitrified properly. It doesn't have that porousness that I would expect to see from earthenware. So it's probably a 20th century find or early 20th century. It's just so stellar. I love how soft and how smooth it is. Oh, and look right over here, guys. It's a marble. Yeah. Holy cow. It's so small. I'm going to say this one here. Oh, it's really hard to get the focus going on. Okay, guys, take a look at it. It's a really small marble. I'd have to say it's about 8 millimeters. You know, I don't see any color or pattern to it. So there's a chance that this marble right here actually originated from like hungry hippos or Chinese checkers or aggravation. It could be like from a game piece as opposed to a playing marble. Like I said, you can see how small it is. It's really, really small. It's well aged. It's a great find. It's all just in the randomness of where you look, you know. Sometimes I pick a spot that's been walked over 100 times and I find something amazing. Sometimes I'm the guy that picks it 100 times and I still miss things, and then people find it underneath my feet. Another spark plug, just a piece though. Oh, marble! Yeah! Whoa! Guys, I just found a marble. Hey, check it out, everybody. I just found a marble right over here. This one is a lot larger than the other one that I found. You can see it's still a good size. It's about 5/8. It's a little bit warped over here. Now that I look at it, you can see it's got a big ding in it. It's a nice color. It's like a red, white, and blue with kind of like a little bit of a streak of orange in it right over there. An aqua marble too, so I usually figure the aqua marbles are earlier than the ones that are clear glass. It's a great find, guys. I don't care if they're big or small, I'm gonna take them all. Oh, I think I found another marble. Oh, it's not a marble, guys, it's a bead. Okay, check this one out over here. At first I thought it was a marble, and then I noticed it had the holes on both sides, and that's what I realized, that this is a glass bead, and it's like a melt glass bead. You know, there's a chance that this is actually ceramic. It's gonna be hard to tell on the beach when it's so dull out, but right now I just think it's so neat. It's kind of wild because I find beads, and they're usually only in a couple of different colors. I find beads in a soft baby blue, kind of like this one over here, and I find them in a white, kind of like a pearly type of a white. This one here is absolutely glass. There's no doubt in my mind that this is not a piece of plastic. You can see it's got nice little weathering on it. It's got the C mark on it right over here. Oh, I see something, guys. It's another neat piece of bonfire. Okay, check this one out, guys. I just found another unique piece of bonfire sea glass right over here. Okay, let me get more in the camera. So here it is. You can see how it's a little bit of brown, and it's inside of a clear bottle, and it has a bunch of ash in it, which I like to call the inclusions. So this is absolutely a piece of bonfire where the two bottles melted and fused together at temperatures over 550 degrees, and then they went into the ocean, cooled down, and really smoothed down nicely to become a beautiful piece of bonfire glass. And the cliff just came down right over there. That's what caught my attention. So this is a nice little piece of bonfire right here, guys. It looks like it's from an old Popeye cigarette, but I know without a doubt this is a piece of an old pipe stem. A piece like this is really clean, and the hole is nice and neat. So I'd have to imagine it's about like an 1890 to 1910 pipe. It's not too much older than that. The hole is too clean, and the piece itself looks like it's well made. You know, I'd have to say for every 100 pipe stem pieces that I find, I only find one bowl. So I really have to wonder, where are all these bowls? What happens to them? I guess they just get broken up in the ocean because they're hollow in the middle, and they just don't survive when big rocks like this and bigger are smashing them around. But something like this can easily slip through and it survives. And maybe that's why I find so many of these stems to so few bowls. Well, guys, we're about an hour after low tide, and I'm starting to get pushed a little closer to the cliffs behind me. We're not going home yet still, don't worry. I'm gonna get every last ounce of sea glass I can out of the beach. I just saw it, guys. I just saw something with a bit of red in it. Hold on. Oh, come on. Come on. Where did it go? I just saw it a second ago. Where did it go? Haha, there it is. Okay, guys, I found it. Ah, it's a tiny little piece of a sea marble. Wow. Okay, guys, that took me a long time to find this. I saw a tiny little bit of a flash of red. Sometimes, I guess, when I'm moving my fingers so quickly, I can uncover something, and then I recover it with the next swipe. But you can see right over here, it's a really, really tiny little fragment of a sea marble. It's only about like 4 millimeters by 3 millimeters. It's extremely small. If I thought that other one was 75% off, this one here has to be about a 90% off sale because it's the smallest little fragment of a marble sitting right here on the beach. You can see now why it was so hard for me to find it after I swiped it away. Oh, little piece of tableware. Oh, this one's nice. Oh, this one's absolutely beautiful. Okay, guys, I don't share enough tableware finds, so I'm going to share this one with you. Another little piece of ceramic here, not as special. But check this out over here, guys. Look at this little pattern that I just found. Now, if you look at it, now I looked at it really quickly, and to me, it looks like there's mountains and there's a little bit of water, and it almost looks like there's a rainbow that's coming down. It's such a neat little unique piece, and that's just what I love about tableware finds and ceramics, is a lot of times you find them and they're blank like this one right over here, but sometimes when you just flip them over, you can just find the most amazing and unique little patterns and remains of the pattern that are on a little shard. Haha, yeah! It's another handle, guys! Check it out, it's another handle. This one is so different than that first purple one that we found. Check this out, guys. It's a little handle from a tiny little cup. We know it's a 20th century find because it's clear. It has a little bit of a mold marking on it right over here. You can see down the center, so it's an automation piece. And the sea glassers are always happy to take the L when they're on the beach. Check it out, guys. It's a beautiful gray piece. I'm just switching my camera and I'm switching piles. It's really nice and aged. It's almost like a finger licking good find, as I like to call them, because you can see it's almost like the size of a finger, but a small finger at that. It's another beautiful piece of bonfire that I just found here on the surface. I must have walked over it a few times. It's got those inclusions in it. It's got some air bubbles in it. And now look at this, guys. It's one of the smallest pieces of ceramic that I'm gonna find. I have to say it's about 2 millimeters by 1 millimeter. It's so tiny. I think we're all about exhausted here, guys. I haven't found anything in a while. We're gonna see what happens though. Well, everybody, that's about all we're gonna be able to pick today. I've exhausted every pile that there is, and the tide is really starting to come up. Check it out, it's one more marble, guys, right here. I was on my way to the post office after leaving the beach, guys. I had to get some packages into the mail, and I stopped at the beach where I like to pick my tiny sea glass for art, and look at this. I found one more red marble. It's got a little bit of a frosty patina to it. It's kind of plain, it's aqua, so I like that. I don't like finding clear marbles. I like finding the ones that have a little bit of tinge to the color that leads me to believe that they are much older than more modern ones. And check it out, guys. It's one more marble right here for the books. It just goes to show you guys, you just gotta keep looking, and it doesn't matter. Every little spot is a new opportunity to find something special. So just keep digging, guys. You never know, that next little push might be the find that's the big score. I just found something really cool on the beach out here in the same spot. It looks like it's some sort of a statue of like a dog. I know it's rubber, I can definitely feel it. It's got some give to it, and it's got the hole right here, so this tells me this would have been like a pencil topper. But this is something that I never saw when I was a kid, and I definitely had a lot of pencil toppers. So this one right here might actually be from like the 1950s or 1960s. Guys, there's a marble, and it's sitting right over here inside the massive rocks. Check it out. I really don't expect to find marbles that are small like this amongst big giant jumbo rocks, but I guess as the waves were rolling in and out, this kind of acted like a trap, kind of like a sluice box, and this marble got stuck right against this massive rock. I am still at the little tiny beach, and this is my second marble, and I found that little dog. This is just crazy. I'm so glad I'm here. It's unbelievable. There's so much metal and copper that's just exposed right over here. I've never seen this before, and I've been picking this spot for 13 years. It's almost as if all of this metal is just fused into the ground. Look at that. You can see there's like rivets and screws. There's brass, there's copper, metal, and there's even some over here. Look at that. It's all stuck underneath this rock. What are the chances that the ocean is going to wash up a magic ticket and it's going to be the winner? Now, I'm pretty sure this is a loser and somebody just threw it out the window. But I have to take it home and I have to check the numbers because I would be absolutely foolish if not to. Not for $1 million would I go underneath that tunnel. Check this out, everybody. You can just see the melt, the thaw from the springtime, and it's coming down over the shoreline. But all of this ice has been freezing over the last couple of months. Usually it just defrosts really gradually, but there's always a chance that with the water, just like that over there, it could just come down in a moment's instant. I'm over here just checking a little secluded spot. There's a little bit of shoreline exposed. I'm not sure if I'm going to find anything. I really haven't found much so far, but I wanted to share this with you guys because it's absolutely beautiful. Here, I know what I can do. How about if I take a rock and I throw it? Solid. That thing is not moving. But that spark plug. Oh, it's another spark plug. Oh, here we go. There's our first piece of glass right here. Oh my God, yeah! Guys, check this out right over here. I cannot believe it. It's another piece of turquoise. It's just crazy. I cannot believe it. I was on my way home, going to the post office, and I just wanted to stop and check, and I found this piece right over here. And I've only found a few pieces of sea glass in this tiny little spot. It's really been a while since I've been here because in the winter, the tides just push up. It's so hard to get out here. It's a bonfire nugget again, guys. It's another cobalt blue bonfire nugget, and it's in this pile. So I'm gonna move a few more pieces of rock here, a few big kicks. Maybe something amazing is going to show up. Look at this, guys. I'm not sure if this is a marble or it's vase filler. Oh, thank heavens. I see a lot of people that find things that are similar to this, and they're modern vase fillers, something that you could buy at a dollar store, at a craft store. I know that this one over here is not because it's got these little bonfire creases on it right over here. So this is like a marble that really pooled and puddled down, and then it got cooler and entered the ocean. I think I'm in a little bit of danger. You can see this big rock right over here and these other small ones. So they're all coming down from the cliff up there. You can definitely see that. And you can see there's a whole bunch of shale. So even though this pile is where I'm making some amazing scores, I'm gonna have to move on because there's no glass that's worth losing my life over. But I'm still gonna pick that one because I see it. So let's give it a few little more kicks right underneath that mark, but I really know that I'm in harm's way right now. So we got to keep moving here. Okay, guys, the sun has set and I'm just walking the doggies. It's really hard to see. And look at this. You can see this is the inlet where I found that old parking meter. And check it out right over here. There's an actual marble sticking in the ground. And it's beautiful. It's really hard to see, guys. But you can see by the swirling on this, I can tell that this marble was probably made in the 1930s to 1940s. And I just cannot believe that the finds keep coming. I was so tired after going to the beach and the post office, but then I decided I was going to give the dogs a second walk, and I got one more treasure right here. Okay, so now the video's over for real because I'm running out of sunlight.